morning students, welcome to the Solves classes. I am Dr. Preeti Singh and I am taking the lecture on the human physiology. Previously I am taking on the lectures, the parts of the digestion, and now we are discussing about the process of the digestion, that how food enter into our body and how it digested step by step in which gland or which system of the body. Digestion of food. Digestion of food. Then we are already discussed that in our digestive system there are the two type of method, that is the mechanical and the chemical. The mechanical is the normally with the teeth and the tongue, which help in the mastication of the food, and the second thing, the chemical, which start the chemical release or the enzymes which help to digest the food. Now we are discussing about the process of the digestion. Firstly, food enter into our oral cavity. We are discussing about this flow chart, that is the first enter into the oral cavity. After that it enter into the pharynx and then esophagus. After the esophagus it enter into the stomach and the intestine. Now we are discussing about the enzymes or other things that help in the digestion of the food. That is oral cavity having some enzymes, saliva, teeth and tongue. In the stomach we are having the HCl enzyme, pepsinogen. Some other enzymes also help in the digestion, particularly in the each organ or each step. That is the first thing. In the oral cavity we are having the two things, that is the teeth and the tongue. Both are help in the mastication of the food, but the saliva help the lubrication of the food particle into the bolus. The third term, that is the first food enter into our body, but in the oral cavity the term used as the bolus. Saliva help in the lubrication of the food particle into the bolus. Now you can say that in the oral cavity, the food is also known as bolus. Now the saliva having some important things, that is the electrolyte, enzymes and the lysozymes. Electrolyte, that is the sodium, potassium, calcium, bicarbonate, that helps in the neutralization of, help in the digestion of the food, and the enzyme, that is the salivary amylase. This is also in the oral cavity. It helps in the digestion of the carbohydrate. Help in the digestion of carbohydrate. After that, lysozyme. What is lysozyme? Lysozyme is an antibacterial enzyme. After the lysozyme, the one more thing, that is the IgA. That is the immunity process or immunity part. That also contains, saliva also contains the IgA. Now we are something about the salivary amylase. What is we are going to discuss, that is the digestion of the carbohydrate through the salivary amylase in the oral cavity. And second thing, that is the 30% of the starch, and we can say 30% of the carbohydrate in the oral cavity digested by this enzyme. This splitted the starch, you can say the starch into the maltose. What did the enzyme? The enzyme helped in the starch into the maltose. This is the digested form of the carbohydrate. After the oral cavity, food enter into the pharynx and the esophagus by the swallowing, or you can say the deglutations. The term is important. After that, in the esophagus, the term is known as peristalsis. What is peristalsis? The movement of the food. Movement of the food is known as peristalsis. You can say that this is the esophagus. After this is having the movement like this, and food enter into the esophagus. This is the peristalsis movement. With the help of peristalsis, the food enter into the stomach. After this, the one term with the esophagus, that is by having the esophageal sphincter. Then the term is known esophageal sphincter. When the food enter into the esophagus, after it enter into the stomach, then having the gastroesophageal sphincter. This is described that it is a connection between the esophagus and the stomach. It prevents the entry of the food further into the esophagus once it enters into the stomach. Now we are discussing more about the stomach. After the entry of the food into the stomach, then the mucus, we can already discuss, the mucous membrane is present in our whole alimentary canal. Then the mucus of the stomach having the gastric glands. There are the three types of gastric gland. That is, the first one is the mucus and the neck cells. What is the function of the mucus neck cells? It secretes the mucus and help in the lubrication of the food further. And after that, the second one is the parietal and the oxalating cells. What is the function of the parietal and the oxalating cells? This is help in the absorption of vitamin B12, and the second thing is the castle intrinsic factor. These two terms are important. Castle intrinsic factor. Both are helping in the digestion of the, you can say, absorption of the vitamin B12. After that, the third gland is the peptic cells and the cheese cells. What is the peptic cell? What is the function of the peptic? The function of the peptic cells is secrete the pepsinogen, the enzyme, the pro-pepsinogen enzyme. This is the pro-enzyme. The term pro and the ozen term is used for the pro-enzyme, which is the inactive form of the enzyme. So you can say the peptic cells help in the secretion of the pepsinogen. This is the inactive form of, and further it can active and help in the digestion of the. When food enters into the stomach, it mixes with the acidic gastric juices that it termed as chyme. That is the food plus acidic gastric juices. This is known as chyme. It mixed thoroughly with the gastric and acidic juices. Then the term is pepsinogen. The stomach having the enzyme, some enzymes. The one main enzyme is the pepsinogen. Then HCl in the stomach, the HCl is present. The HCl convert this pepsinogen into the pepsin. This pepsin help in the conversion of protein into proteases, the smaller form of the protein, or you can say digestion of the protein. Now the mucus and the bicarbonate. The mucus and the bicarbonate in the stomach help in the lubrication and the protection of the epithelium from the acidic HCl. Go. The term is known as rennin. Rennin is also an enzyme in the stomach, but it is present in our infants. Okay, we are discussing about the protein digestion. The one thing that in adults we are having about the stomach. We are in the infants, it helps in the digestion of the milk proteins. And in stomach, we are having one more enzyme, lipases. You can say lipases. Okay. Now the enzymes. These are the pancreatic enzymes, mainly the trypsinogen, chymotrypsin, and the pro-carboxypeptidase. The term is pro. That means this enzyme is the inactive form. And Jan word is also for the inactivation of the enzyme. It represents the help. After that, there are small enzymes like nucleases, like. Now in the intestine, the term is known, the one enzyme that is the trypsinogen. The trypsinogen, this is an inactive form. This is the active form of the trypsinogen, that is the trypsin. With the help of enterokinase. This is the enzyme from the intestinal epithelium, comes from intestinal epithelium, and help in the conversion of the trypsinogen to the trypsin. After that, second thing is the bile. Bile having the bile pigments, the two pigments, that is the bilirubin and the bilirubin, the salt and the cholesterol. But the main important thing is that in the bile there is no enzyme present in the bile. After that, third thing is bile having the two functions. What are the two functions? That is, first one, it activates the lipases enzyme, and second thing, the emulsification of the fat. Then what is the term emulsification? Emulsification, when the fat break down into the small micelles. This time now in the intestine we are discussing about the three things. That is, the first is pancreatic juice, and second is the bile, and third is the intestinal juices. Intestinal juices is also known as succus entericus. The succus entericus having the enzymes, that is the maltase enzyme, nuclease enzyme, lipase enzymes, and other disaccharidase enzymes. After that, it is also having the mucus and the bicarbonate. Same in the stomach, the mucus and the bicarbonate help in the lubrication and protection of the intestinal epithelium. After that, the pH of this is the 7.8. The intestinal. Now in the intestine, there are some type of gland that is already discussed, that is the Brunner gland. Brunner gland is present in the submucosa. Then after that, the intestine having the helping
breakdown. Go.
In the intestine, mostly digestion occurs here. That is the protein, starch and the fat. All are breakdown into their further smaller forms. Like the protein and peptones with the help of trypsin, chymotrypsin and procarboxypeptidase enter into the or break down into the dipeptidase. Second thing is the polysaccharide, that is the form of the starch. That is break down into the disaccharide and then further into the monosaccharide with the help of this enzyme, the salivary amylase. And the third thing is the fat. The fat with the help of lipase break down into the diglycerides and further into the monoglycerides. And that's the main thing about the intestine, the whole absorption or what kind of digestion. Let's summarize this with the help of this table. Like the oral cavity, in the oral cavity, carbohydrate breakdown. There is starch, that is the 30% of starch digested in this oral cavity. But there is protein, no digestion of the protein and no digestion of the fat in the oral cavity. After that, stomach having the protein digestion. Stomach having the protein digestion, but there is no carbohydrate and fat digestion. Some having the lipases, the small amount of fat digestion may be occurs, but the main fat digestion occurs in the small intestine. But the small intestine is the main digestion form, that is the fat, carbohydrate and protein all are digested in the small intestine and fat with the help of. Now we are discussing about the breakdown of biomicromolecules. So that in the small intestine they are digested and the further digested in the smaller forms. Like the dipeptidase and break down into the aminopeptidase with the help of dipeptidase enzyme. After that, the starch, or you can say carbohydrate, that comes more about the maltose, lactose and the sucrose. Maltose converted into the glucose and the glucose, that is with help of maltase. After that, lactose break down into the glucose and the galactose with the help of galactase enzyme, and sucrose break down into the fructose and the glucose, that is the help of sucrase enzyme. After that, nucleotide is also digested further, that is the nucleotide break down into the nucleoside and nucleoside further break down into the nitrogenous base and the sugar. After that, the diglyceride will be fat form that is also break down into the fatty acids and the glycerols. Now after the small intestine, the food enters into the large intestine. Then we can say that there is no specific digestion occurring in the large intestine. There are only absorption of the water and some minerals occurs in this. But after that, in the large intestine, there is having secretion of mucus in this large intestine. Why? Because it helps in the lubrication of feces for the easy passage. After that, large intestine food enters into the cecum by the ileocecal wall. After the ileocecal wall, what is the function of ileocecal wall? The function of this, the prevention of feces further into GIT or gastrointestinal tract. After that, cecum, the feces temporarily stored in the rectum till the defecation. Now we are discussing about the flowchart of the digestive process so that you can remember more fastly. Then first term we are discussing about the, we can say the food enter into our oral cavity. First term we are discussing that as the bolus. What is bolus? Bolus is the simply when the food enter into the oral cavity and it mixes with the saliva. And second thing about this, the term is salivary amylase. Salivary amylase. The second term, Salivary. Salivary minus help in the breakdown of the carbohydrate. And the third term about the oral cavity, that this is the third term is the teeth and the tongue. Teeth and tongue that help in the mastication and unification of the food. So this is the term, or you can say key point to remember about the oral cavity. Second is the stomach. In the stomach, the first term, that is the chyme. What is chyme? We have already discussed when food mix up thoroughly with the acidic gastric juices. After that, in the stomach, we are discussing about the one enzyme, that is the pepsin. This is the enzyme to break down of the carbohydrate. But this is helps in the adults. But in the infants, the second enzyme, that is the renin. This is help in the digestion of the milk protein. And the third one is lipases. But this is not as much as important because this is present in the small quantity. Now the third organ is small intestine. In the small intestine, the first term you have to remember, that is chyme. The term is chyme. This is in the chyme. We are first discussing about the juices. What kind of juices enter into the small intestine? There are the three types of juices. That is, first one is pancreatic juice. Second one is the small intestinal juices. You can say intestinal juices, the succus entericus, you can say. And the third thing is bile. These three types of juices we are discussed in this small intestine. In pancreatic juices, we are discussing about the nucleases, lipases, or main three enzymes, that is the trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, and procarboxypeptidase. And in the small intestine, we are discussing some enzymes like disaccharide, maltases, nucleases. These enzymes present in the intestinal juices. In the bile, there is no enzyme. That is the most important thing about the bile. There is no enzyme present in this. And one more thing, that is the bile. The emulsification of fat occurs through this bile juices. After this, the large intestine. One important one, or you can say the only thing, that is the no specific digestion. No specific digestion occurs in this large intestine. Only the absorption occurs in the large intestine. So this is the whole about the digestion, or you can say the digestion occurs in the each side.